to Hey, I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in today to a New Day Fellowship Church podcast. Pastors are Dr. Robert and Teresa Beeman. Now, you're watching on social media, please, by all means, give us a like, a share, subscribe if you can, all right? And you might definitely want to go ahead and put your name in, and if you have a business in the area, go ahead and put that in as well, because our guests today may want to stop by and enjoy what you have. Without further ado, let's go ahead and have our guests introduced.
Good morning. Today we have the magnificent Jasmine Caldwell, Michael Wilson, and Faith Tolbert, all from KCEN, Texas. And they have been a part of the Texas Today Morning News team that earned a Tully Award for their Fort Tabasco's Beyond the Battlefield special, celebrating excellence in storytelling and production. Jasmine Caldwell has served as the morning anchor in Texas Today, KCEN, since 2017. Before that, she worked as a weekend evening anchor at the station, completing over half a decade in those roles. She is noted for being part of KCN's first all-African-American anchor team in Central Texas, making a milestone in newsroom diversity. Off-air, Jasmine shares her love for dogs. She enjoys nature and proudly belongs to the AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Michael Wilson joined KCEN as a morning anchor on Texas Today in June 2023, co-anchoring alongside Jasmine Caldwell. He came to the Central Texas from KCENTV in Fort Smith, Arkansas, where he served as anchor reporter. Michael is a graduate of the University of Central Oklahoma. He gained early experience with Youth Central Student Media and interned with Oklahoma City's KOCO and KOKH KOCD. Profiles describe him as multi-skilled journalist and storyteller known for authenticity and engaging coverage on arts, education, and regional community stories. Michael was honored recently by Waco Independent School District with the TASB Media Honor Roll Award for his fair and balanced coverage, highlighted by Waco ISD as excellence in local media reporting. He is recognized as a Carol Simpson Scholar by the Radio Television Digital News Association during his time at the University of Central Oklahoma, a distinction awarded to aspiring journalists of color. And then we also have Miss Faith Colbert. She is from KCEN Texas Today, the newest meteorologist. She was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. She is the oldest of 5 siblings. She graduated from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. To her time there, she danced on all collegiate basketball dance team. On her free time, you can find her dancing, traveling, and relaxing. Before coming to Temple, she was a meteorologist and reporter in Corpus Christi, Texas, where she fasted on Tropical Storm Alberto and Hurricane Beryl.
Wow! So we did our deep dive and we went deep, to find a little bit about you guys, though, our real journalism.
You put it like that.
Was everything correct?
Yes.
All right.
One more thing to add.
What's that? Go ahead.
Micah loves his community. Jasmine probably gonna get annoyed, but 405 to my city, Oklahoma City, and hashtag just a kid from the creek. I will represent my neighborhood loud and proud, Chisholm Creek.
Okay. All right. Hey, stand up, Chisholm Creek. There it is. What about you, Faith?
Oh, Dallas, Texas. I was born and raised there, so of course you know how we do down in Triple D. But I'm glad to be here in Central Texas.
Hey, glad to have you. Look at this team here, the magnificent team.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
So, what do y'all want to talk about today? I want to know that. What do y'all want to talk about? What's on your mind?
I don't know. You tell us.
What does it feel like, first of all, to do what y'all do every day? What is that, the life in you every day, what does that feel like, the impact that you have out here in the community?
I can probably go first. So I recently celebrated 2 years being here in Central Texas. So I made a montage video, some just clips of me being here in the community, and
I saw that.
yeah, it just made me like realize, well, like wow, it's crazy how you come into a community not knowing anyone, not knowing anything about it, into just really being invested in the community to where people are reaching out to you, people are trusting you and things like that. So I feel like that is an absolute blessing that you get to, I don't want to say influence, but you get to be a light in so many people's lives, even if you don't know them, whether they know me on social media, whether they know me in person or just on TV. And that's just a blessing to be a part of a community that I didn't, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna be real, I'm always be real. I didn't know Temple, Texas existed 2 years ago. I never heard of it.
Too real.
I heard of Waco and I heard of Baylor. I didn't even know that Baylor was inside of Waco. I did not know, but now I know every little thing that goes on here.
All right.
Well, I've been here. I've been living here for 8 years now. Got here in 2017. But one of the big things that I have realized being a part of this community for so long and just being on television, you don't realize the type of impact you have. Sometimes it's not until people tell me. Recently, I ran into a young woman who told me that her daughter watches Texas Today every morning, and she said that her daughter knows when to wake up for school because she hears our voice and her head pops up. So where her alarm clock, she just hears the voices. Her mom turns up the TV. But also, it's kind of like, it's a lot of weight, that you have to carry, because knowing that, okay, so an 8-year-old girl wakes up to me every morning. So now I have to be careful with, how I present myself in the community, how I act in the community and things like that. So it is definitely one of those, you have to have a passion for this.
Yes.
And you have to love to do it, because so many people are watching you that you don't even know, you don't even realize. But overall, this is a great community, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And I did actually know that Waco and Baylor, were married, because our football team used to play them all the time. And I was like, where is Baylor at? Oh, Waco, Texas. So when I got the job, I was like, oh, that's Baylor. Yeah,
I know more than Mike. I know.
I do, y'all. I know. I'm always knowing more than Mike.
Hey, such inspiration. Faith.
Okay, it's on. They, obviously, like you said, have been here longer. Me just getting here to Temple, of course, I've heard about Baylor. I've driven through Temple and Waco, but this was never a place where, I'm gonna live here, so coming here, of course, I'm excited to come into the community, of course, coming from Corpus Christi, where Black people make up less than 5% of the population. I'm coming from a city where I was the first meteorologist at KCENTV and back in South Texas, so of course, like Jasmine mentioned, I resonate with her, the struggles that I face, adversity of just me being me, you know what I'm saying, being, something different that the community hasn't seen. And so coming from Corpus, where, the love is still there, but it's a little bit different here, being closer to home. I'm from Dallas, so this is a little bit closer, the traditions, the vibe, everything is a lot more with what I resonate. So I'm excited that I haven't even been here for a complete month, and I see the love is a lot different than what I experienced in Corpus, and I can, feel the friendship, not just between the Black community, but just, being closer to home, being closer to what I know. And so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get to know more about the Temple, Belton, Waco area, the food, and of course get to know both of them more. Their personalities keep me wide awake at 4:30 in the morning. So yeah, I'm just excited to get to know more about the community.
All right.
No, I was gonna say Faith just fits right in with us. It's like, we've been only knowing each other for what, a couple of weeks?
Almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And it doesn't even feel like that. I mean, you know how you just meet
Yes.
people and you just slide right on in.
That's how it feels. That's how it feels.
And I'm so big on where you're supposed to be at, is where God wants you to be at, regardless if the timing is different, because, of course, news was a scary time to jump into this business, and for me to end my contract when I did, and kind of was uncertain of where I was going to go, and I asked God specifically, I need to be close to home, and for this opportunity to come available, just let me know, God got me and I'm where I'm supposed to be at.
Wow. So outside of you monitoring what you say and how you present yourself in the community, you just said something very powerful, that you spoke the words to God and God answered. So you know that you have that direct connection. So you definitely have to be very careful what you say, right? Life and death. Wow. Now, I think the community want to know, are you guys really friends?
Yeah.
I'm enemies with Jazz.
No, okay, you have to be because you spend so much time with each other in the wee hours of the morning. So we are up with each other. We come in like around, you come in at 2,
Yeah, 2.
you know, we come in around 3:30.
When I want.
And,
I said when I want at this point.
Whatever. But you know, you spend so much time with each other. It would be so hard if we weren't friends, if we didn't like each other, you know, and spending that much time with each other, that close to each other. Micah and I sit next to each other. I mean, like our knees and elbows are touching each other on the desk and like at our, you know, our desks in the newsroom. So you really have to be. You learn so much. Micah has seen so much and knows so much. He knows too much actually, and then will use it against me. And you know, I learned about him. So yeah, no, we are really friends. It's not fake.
Well, and I would say I'm bad at faking. I could probably do it a good 30 minutes, but 2.5 hours, now 3.5, that's hard. And you just got to think, when you're just naturally going to be by somebody that close for that long, you have to build some type of rapport and relationship because, again, we over here, hi, Jasmine, and then don't even get it started on a desk. We this close with each other on the desk. Like, gosh, can't even breathe.
No, and I think, I'm sorry.
Good.
And I think what goes into that, like, you know, I'm kind of the orphan child because the weather center is a little bit further. So I kind of get my space a little bit more from them. But in general, like you said, like, you literally have to be, like, obviously we're talking to thousands and thousands of people every day, but it doesn't feel that way. It's just us 3 in there. So we're in an empty room, but we're talking to all of these people. So it's like, almost like we don't see y'all. It's really just we just see us.
Yeah.
And so it feeds into that.
You have to bond.
Yeah.
Like you really have to bond, or your time at work is going to be miserable.
And you can tell when people are faking it. We've seen some anchors that are it's forced, fraudulent, and just downright awkward. Man.
Absolutely. And I had met Micah's sister recently, and she had told me that she was like, I told Micah that, you know, he's replacing you, like he's replacing me with you. Because, you know, people always say we have more like a sibling relationship than, you know, a co-anchor team. But, you know, she said, and I just cracked up and said, girl, you can have your brother back.
Don't pass me. I'm not a community brother. Come on now.
Oh, the behind the scenes that you have. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Oh, thank you. The behind the broadcast?
Yes, all of that. Oh, my goodness. It's
Yeah.
wow, it's real. Like, it's real.
It's real. Faith hasn't made her debut yet because the way we film,
Yes.
we're about 2 months behind.
Okay.
So what you are seeing maybe from April and May. So you probably won't see Faith on there until like maybe September or something, because he's just the way they shoot so many episodes ahead of time, and they just, you know, they drop once a week. So yeah, so there's a 2-month lag.
Okay.
And I appreciate the behind the broadcast. Like, I love that y'all do that. Like you said, I remember coming here, you know, and hearing about the behind the broadcast, but actually seeing it real life. I mean, from the moment I first walked into that station, they had the camera. I'm like, whoa, hello. Like, they, like you said, the honesty, the authenticity, I just love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will say something that I do like about it is that it makes it easier to capture and cherish moments. Sometimes I wish I had it for just like in my personal life or like with family and stuff, because we had a producer who recently left, Zoe, and it's like, dang, we have so much on film of us, just good times, bad times, just everything, just on camera, and I like that. And then you get to see the realness behind it. You can see we act a little crazy. You see we talk to each other crazy, on camera, off camera. It doesn't matter, but and it shows that real relationship. So I do really like that. And I feel like it is like a real reality TV show, because how they show stuff like months later, that's how we're doing. And the fact that our editor, I'll always give him a shout out, and I always say he needs a raise. So bosses, if you watch, and I'm gonna say it once again, Dominic Gonzalez needs a raise, because he is the editor and the mastermind behind that.
Yes.
And he comes up with titles behind it. He's always filming us, making sure to try to pick us up. We don't have mics on, it's just one camera. And he edits it on top of editing our long show. It is super long, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's super long, but he does all of that. So kudos to him. I'm gonna always give him kudos anytime I can, because he deserves it.
Absolutely. And it is because of him, because of Dominic, that years from now, when we move on from Channel 6 News, we'll have so much to look back on. You know, I've been at plenty of
Yes.
jobs where, you know, how you may have that one coworker who you're like, I don't know what they're doing, or, you know, but it's like, we're going to be able to look back and have those memories
Yes.
on video, you know, 20 years from now, whatever. So that's what I really like about behind the broadcast. And yeah, I mean, just, you got to get used to having a camera in your face all the time. And it is kind of like on reality shows. Like, I see on reality shows where they may get upset because something was aired. And there's been plenty of times where people say to Dominic, don't air that. And we're like, air it. It's real. It's raw. It's authentic, you know.
That's what make it what it is.
That's what makes it what it is. So I'm like, push record, Dominic. Do it anyway.
Now, I love the shout out. So who else would y'all like to shout out behind the scenes? People don't see in front of the camera, but they do so much to make what y'all do happen.
I would say our executive producer, Crystal White, Crystal Pratt White, she does a lot. So she's an executive producer. So basically kind of what that means is she is responsible for the structure of the show, the stories that we pick. With her being overnight, she is basically like the manager overnight. Like our bosses aren't there overnight, so it's her. And she has so much to deal with, you know. She has to know about weather, you know, she has to know about news, she has to know about all of that.
Wow.
Let's know what's happening during the day, because they'll message her during the day, like,
Absolutely.
it's not okay if you wouldn't want her messaging you at midnight,
Yeah.
but yet they'll message her at 4 p.m. and it's like, we gotta sleep at some point.
Absolutely. And she is born and raised in Temple, and she actually has been at the station for about 20 years or so. She started at like 16, I want to say, working the front desk or something like that, she said, like, and just worked her way up to now she's the executive producer of the morning show. So, I mean, she is just great.
All right. Shout out. Yes, indeed.
And I mean, I guess giving everyone a shout out, because I always tell people, you always see our faces. We are the face of the show. These are the people that, if we're walking on the street, these are the people that they'll know and say hey to at Walmart. However, just want to give people just a kind of a vision of how TV works. You have people in the control room. Those are people who, I mean, are controlling our audio, turning up and down our mics. You have people who are pressing the button to get us on camera or to play video at the right time. You have that. Then you have we have 2 producers for our morning show, and then our executive producer. And sometimes Crystal, she actually produces the show, like she did this morning. Honestly, the past 2 days, she came back from vacation, and she's been producing the show and being in the booth, and also working on our streaming show as well.
Wow.
So you have
we have
those
the
people doing
directors
that.
who punch, you know, the video, things like that. Nancy Sean been there about 30 years as well, and Thomas. So it's like one big family.
So yeah, you may see us, but you got those people, and that's just for the morning. So just think of that too for the evenings. And then we have Crystal's our manager in the morning, but you got the dayside managers and all those other people. So it's a process. I always tell people it's like an assembly line.
Yeah.
Our reporter Brandon. Oh, shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, all right.
Colt, my goodness.
Breaking
He's a
stories, man. If you were a reporter at the other stations, I'd be scared when I see that man walking, because he's going to get the story and he's not going to stop. He broke some news this morning. He essentially he turned the story about some Waco animal shelters. So he did that. In addition, he talked about Lamar Odom and Killeen. That's 2 different communities. You got McLennan County over there, all the way to Bell County, handling big business. And then he had an interview right after that for another story, and he's on top of it. Mind you, it's not easy with this shift.
Your body's always tired.
Always tired, just because you can never get enough rest. I hate saying when people, how are you doing? I'm sleepy. And it's the truth. You're always tired because your body, you're not meant to go to bed as early as we do. You're not meant to wake up as early as we do and to have as much energy as we do. That's hard. We don't drink coffee. Well, Faith says she does sometimes, but shout out to Brandon, man.
Babe, you drink coffee?
You know, it depends on the day, you know, because like I said, I get there a lot earlier than them. I'm the meteorologist and in the weather center. I'm out in there by myself. So for about 2-3 hours, when it's in the dark wee hours at night, sometimes I have to, but it's not, you know, I need to. As soon as they burst in that studio on that set,
ruckus.
Yeah, I don't need anything else. The Lord and them got me the rest of the way through, so I appreciate them for that.
Faith's in there listening to her music, and she got her blanket, and you know she's just vibing, you know, with herself, and then we come in and
just be loud.
Sometimes we come in arguing.
Jasmine, why would you put that in? Oh, hi, babe. And let me turn my music off. That was good while it lasted.
Girl, we sorry. We'll do better.
No, I love them though. I love them though. Because like you said, just being a part of that family, like, you know, you need that. And especially being a meteorologist, like, we don't get to connect as much. Like, we don't really do stories. That's one thing that I do miss about not being a reporter anymore is I don't get to go out in the community as much and do, you know, more of those stories. So I'm appreciative for not only this opportunity to kind of get a little bit more out in Temple, but to have you guys who obviously care about this community and, you know, care about the people that you guys are serving.
Yeah.
How hard is it being a meteorologist?
We didn't listen to her this morning, I'll tell you that.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, you have a job that people sometimes don't really appreciate, you know? So it's one of those things where you're not really cared for until it really impacts you. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yep.
But being a meteorologist is certainly hard. You know, of course, being a black woman in a field where we're not even seeing that much race-wise, but even to be a black female, so a double minority in this field is definitely not an easy thing, you know, I would say the least. But I just thank God for the opportunities that came my way. I was able to do, you know, 2 internships over COVID. Mind you, that was mostly everything was shut down. So once again, just God let me know where I'm supposed to be at the right time, you know, the right places. But yeah, meteorology it's not easy. 'Cause at the end of the day, God has the final say. So regardless of how many models I look at, how many numbers, how many mathematical equations I write up, if God wanted to pour at your house, He's gonna pour at your house. So you know, it's just kind of hard to obviously trying to give more of that transparency, let people know, you know, well, this is what could happen, this is what couldn't happen. At the end of the day, it's a chance. I'm not telling you this is gonna happen. So yeah, to say the least, it's not easy. Just like to be anchors, you know, it's not easy to do that. Regardless if you're doing math, you're anchoring, producing, directing. It's not easy to in this field, regardless of what you're doing.
Now, was the math, and I'm sorry to ask this question. This is not my
This
answer.
what you do.
It's a journalist in the media. You gotta do it.
Now, in college, was the math hard for meteorology?
Oh, certainly. From quantum physics to calculus.
What?
To calculus. So it was definitely challenging, but I think I knew that when I've known I wanted to be a meteorologist since I was 7, 8 years old. I would watch the Weather Channel for fun, science fairs. Like, I was that nerd and I didn't care because I knew this is what I wanted to do. But I think going to a HBCU where I went to a school where professors cared about me. They took that extra time to work with me where, you know, it may not have been the same experience as a PWI, so I appreciate me trying to go into a field where we're not seeing as much. I went to a place that would help me out more. So I think that kind of definitely helped me get to where I'm at.
I feel like in college, I thought I had this misconception that it was all the same thing, right? I thought, okay, broadcast news and, you know, being on the news. It wasn't until I got to college that I realized that meteorology was a different degree. Like, it wasn't the same. So, you know, I really didn't take any classes with, you know, my, you know, friends who wanted to be meteorologists. We were in separate classes. I never saw them, but I thought, like, you know, broadcast news was broadcast news. Like, I could be a weather girl. That's what I thought. No, I cannot. No, I can't.
I'm kind of on the opposite. I always give kudos to meteorologists because that was my original career field that I wanted to go into. I've been wanting to do it since I was 8 years old. I even job shadowed the chief at my favorite station back home. You know, Oklahoma City, lots of severe weather, tornadoes. They take weather coverage serious, like storm chasers, everything. You got the helicopter out there. I really wanted to do it. And then I job shadowed the chief at my favorite station back home, and he was like, lots of science. I said, okay, no problem, big dog. You know, I got that. And he said, in math, I said, oh. And so then that's kind of when I had to change of career. It was my senior year of high school where I was like, you know what? I've been in the newsroom, like to talk to people, and that's why I chose this. But shout out to the meteorologist because for me, I refused. No.
Yeah. She's more than a weather girl. More than a weather girl. No. So.
Scientist.
Yes, really, very much so. I appreciate it. It takes passion, honestly, to do it. You couldn't do this and not love what you do regardless. So yeah, it takes lots of hard work for sure.
So you hear that? You hear that, the young children of the world? You know, it's very much so doable. It's very much so doable. Okay, you're looking at examples right here, right now.
Absolutely.
How easy is it to come do a walkthrough at the facility?
To come where?
Oh, how
the
is
walkthrough.
it? You could probably just message one of us, and we can probably make it happen. We got a lot of messages though, but you can probably just
Do a
message
tour.
Get
us,
to it.
and we'll handle business from there. Just we'll ask questions like, how many people are you planning on coming, and then we'll probably need their name and stuff because we have to do stuff on our end, like
Understood.
fill out a visitor guide and stuff for our managers. They will get mad, but.
They want to know
Yeah.
everybody who comes through the building.
Every
So
single body.
We'll put every single person first and last name on the list, and we set up a time, and we'll walk you through. Now, if you want a tour with Jasmine and Micah, hey,
Try to
you
make
got to
sure
get
it's
up
in the morning.
early. We're not giving you a 4 p.m. tour.
That's a different vibe.
Different vibe at 4 p.m. And I'm not coming back at 4 p.m. I'll be at home running errands or taking a nap.
All right, here's some other breaking news, Ray. I want you to give everybody. What is your real voice?
This is my real voice. I'm talking. It's funny. I've been doing some lives recently. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, your voice, your voice." As a matter of fact, somebody told Jasmine she sounds like AI. They said she should be selling her voice or something this morning when I was on TikTok live. I was like, "What?" But yeah.
So the news voice. Everybody got questions about the news voice, but it's two things for me. When you go into any professional setting, you're kind of going to switch up your voice a little bit. You know what I
Okay.
mean? You're going to change it up and sound more professional depending on where you are.
Yes.
But sometimes, when you're doing the news, you kind of have to give people attention because people, they're watching TV. Sometimes they're not watching TV, they're not sitting on a couch. They might be doing stuff in the house, and so sometimes your voice will, what's she talking about? Or what's she saying?
That's what get them.
That's what will get them sometimes. And it's Mike and I were talking about it the other day. Like, I can't sing. I don't have a good singing voice, but I have a good news anchor voice. And it's kind of like the same thing. Like, you kind of talking from your diaphragm. You got to know when to go low and know when to go high. Bring it up, bring it down. Breathe. That's very important.
Wow.
And doing all that changes your voice. Like, how I talk to my friends. Like, girl, what I'm not breathing. I'm just whatever. But it's going to change up your voice a little bit when you do that.
I'd say part of it for me is what she said. I start off lower because I know I'm going to get higher by the end of it, my voice, because I'm out of breath. But part of the job is to edit scripts. Now, we do have to edit 2.5 hours worth, so you can't catch them all like Pokemon, but you get to the max that you can. And so what I try to do is create shorter sentences. The dog barked, period. He barked at the cat. So then I won't be, the dog barked at the cat and the cat ran away, and then like do a long run on sentences. The dog barked at the cat ran away. The cat ran into a tree. Like you shorten it that way so then you can have better breath control. Again, you can't get to all the scripts, so sometimes you're like, where do I breathe? Where do I breathe? Where do I breathe? And that's what makes it rough.
So if I see in the teleprompter there's a sentence, and if it has a comma in it, then I know
over.
right there. Like
It's
that's
over.
too long of a sentence. If it has a comma, it needs a period, and then we need to go to the next sentence.
I'd say
So-
12 words max, 15 words max.
Right. But you have to breathe. So yeah.
That's one thing I would say I used to envy as you guys being anchors, because meteorologists, we don't get any scripts. Whatever you up there saying is what's in your mind. We don't have any preset words. Whatever you're saying is simply knowledge that you know by looking at a map. And so, I know I was telling them recently, I have to drink my tea. So when I'm in there listening to my music and I have my blanket, I feel like that's how I'm getting my voice, because I have to pre-notion, okay, when am I going to take my breaks? I don't have words, but I have to just mentally keep those mental thoughts in my head. So it's different steps, like you said, that we have to take to do our jobs. It may sound silly, but it truly makes a difference.
Yeah, that voice is powerful. It's like an
Yeah.
instrument.
Yeah.
So sometimes, especially when you're getting sick, like that tea or something hot, warm to go down your throat, because without it, it's like, oh gosh, I guess I'm not coming to work.
And people will notice, and that's the thing
they'll
is,
notice.
I tell people, other jobs you might be like, okay, I don't feel like doing it today. Okay, I can just stay quiet, can't do this. With this job, you cannot, and you always have to be ready because the news starts when it starts. So this morning, matter of fact, I think it was during our 8:27 local news cut in. we didn't have a producer back then. And so I'm like, hey, which story am I doing? Which story am I doing? 15. Hey, which story am I doing? Am I doing this story? Am I talking about this story? Like, I need to know what video you all have so I can tell the viewer. The teleprompter's on here. And then 5, 4, and it's like, oh, well. And then I saw the Lord that, hi, I'm Michael Wilson. I still don't know what I'm talking about with your 6 News update. And then I saw Wake Up Missing Women. So then I just have to, we run our own teleprompter. So I'm over here moving like, where is this thing? I have to go off of memory. Hey, her name is this. I don't know how she is. And so with that, it's crazy because I'm still trying to keep the calm presence in my voice as if I'm delivering it as if I'm reading. But my mind, I'm going, red alert, in my mind. And so I would say that's hard to do with this job. Also, people don't realize, someone was like, why are you reading so fast when I was doing one of our news cut-ins? It's like, well, someone's in my ear telling me I have 10 seconds left before I get cut off on a script. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, eliminate this sentence, that's not important. Okay, take out this word, that's not important. Okay, read a little bit faster, what's important.
Wow.
And so you're doing this on live TV. And again, shout out to our producers, because while we're doing that, they also have to communicate to us like, hey, we don't have enough time for this story. Hey, we're going to replace this with this. Oh, this is not in the show yet. We got to replace this with this. So all this is happening as you all are watching. And so it's hard. That's why sometimes we'll be like, oh, we're going to break. Oh, I'm just kidding, because sometimes they left the script in there from the 5 o'clock show, but it's not going to break for the 6 o'clock show. So then they're telling us, no break. I'm like, oh, okay, what are we doing? And you have to just try to, act like nothing happened, just push on.
And when something goes wrong, and one of the things we kind of go back and forth with our producers, like, you just know our face, right? So if I say something on TV that you don't like, and you're like, I can't believe I used to like her, and I can't believe she said that. And it's like, it was in the script, and I read it. We don't write the scripts,
Right.
We just read them. So a lot of the times, if we say something about, the president or whatever, if they don't like it, they get mad at us.
Yes.
Or if a producer misspells something, and we mess up, or says someone's name wrong, and I read it, and they're like, I can't believe that she said that. That is President Biden. That's not Trump. And she's stupid. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, I just read what's on the teleprompter. But they see our face.
Yes.
So any mistakes that's made behind the scenes, it comes right.
Well, you already gave them shout outs now, so we know who they are now. Yeah, we know what's going on.
Well, recently, I was just telling Jasmine, someone recently died, a televangelist, and I told her, I was like, man, I hate that, like, we're kind of bringing up the past. Like, I guess it's necessary, but I was like, I hate that it's my face. Like, I'm the one actively doing this. And it's like, I don't even know this man. But I'm like, oh, yeah, he died, but also he did this crime and this crime, that crime, that crime, that crime. May he rest in peace. And I'm like, why do I have to be the face of that sometimes? And so it does kind of suck being on air, because every mistake that people see is your fault.
It's your fault.
Because all they know is you. They don't see the faces behind. So it's a blessing and a curse, because we'll get all the praise, but then we'll also get. And the thing is, I tell people, we get internal feedback and external feedback. So external being the viewers, online, just everywhere, and they have too much access to us to send us nasty messages. But also we get stuff from our boss. Hey, Michael, why'd you stumble on that? I just couldn't read today, sir. Like, I'm not a robot. Some days I'm at a 7, some days I'm at a 10. Like, I'm a human. Some days I'm at a 3.
Yeah, and sometimes too, one letter will change an entire word. So if there's a mistake in the teleprompter and it's supposed to be it says T-O, and I'm like 2, but it's supposed to be T-O-P, top. So then, we like to top. The top of, and then that's when the boss may say, why are you guys stumbling? Well, we're trying to figure out what the word is.
Right.
Wow. So, and it's on live TV, so.
And that's why I think, like, helps make, like, those shows that you do together, so tight-knit. Because it's like, we understand when, you mess up, and the viewers don't know it wasn't your fault. But we know that you're taking the fall from somebody else.
Yeah.
Or, you had a bad day, or they don't give you as much grace. You can have a bad day and don't nobody know about it. We have a bad day. Thousands of people have seen it, and everybody, and so I feel like that's what makes that bond and that connection better, because we're literally here for each other. Like, I understand what it's like to go through, maybe someone else doesn't understand that. So it's a tough business, but like you said, having the right coworkers, working with the right group of people, it just solidifies once again that like you're where you're supposed to be, and you have that community, the people who are going to love on you and don't just love you when you're at your good, but love you on your worst days, love you on the days when you may not feel like it, but I still showed up, I'm still here, you know, doing my job. So.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that can really make or break you, like at a job, you know, any job, not just news, but any job, you know, the people that you work with or your bosses. Like there was a time I used to work at a TV station in Florida, it was like, it was a beautiful, beautiful station. You look outside of on our front lawn, you know, there was all kind of birds, flamingos, palm trees, and things like that. And I remember looking out the window one day, and I saw all of these beautiful creatures, and I was like, I am so miserable. Like, I am in the Sunshine State, the beach is 15 minutes away, and I am miserable. And it wasn't because, I wasn't miserable in Florida, it was what was going on inside the walls, you know, with my bosses and these mean people, and that's why I was so miserable. You know, I would, you know, swipe my key card, or I would pull up and sit in the car because I don't want to get out, and I have this anxiety in my stomach, and I'm like, gosh, you know, but I don't get that, you know, at Channel 6.
Yes.
I don't get that in working with the people that I do.
I was just telling my boss I had my one-on-one yesterday. That's a blessing, because there was a point at my last session, it improved though, but there was a point to where even when I was allowed in studio and I was a night side reporter, I would sit in my car or go into this little secret room until my 4 p.m. You won't see me until 3:55. and the show starts at 4. Okay, I disappear again. Then you see me at 5:58. Hey, Mike. Okay, yeah, I'm going, just because it was just so like, oh my gosh, it's just like, you know, when you like you got to take a breather before you like, and then you like that's no feeling, and it's just a horrible feeling. So I'm glad that I never experienced that here. Again, it did improve at my last one, but I'm glad that I never had to experience that here. And I will say, especially Texas Today, boy, our news director, it doesn't matter if they're coming on night side, he's going to introduce them to Texas Today, and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys have so much fun, you guys have so much energy, y'all so loud, because we just, I don't know, we're just, you act like a normal person. I feel like that's very important, just to act like a normal person, someone that people can relate to. You might have a crazy cousin that we relate to. We might have the rich auntie that we relate to. Like, our crew is, I feel like, relatable, and we act like people first, which I think is very important to connect with people.
Absolutely.
So one question here is, what are you truly thankful for today?
I am realizing to be just more thankful for just everything in general. Even just the small stuff. I think I said this before, but I was listening to this woman who was like, you know, just take time in just prayer to not even ask for stuff, just to be thankful. So I've been trying to do that, like in my mornings, and I'm gonna be honest, it's rough in the mornings, but I just take time to be like, oh my gosh, thank you that my alarm went off. Thank you that I have a phone, that I'm paying the bill. Thank God for allowing me to blink. You know, to move my arms. Thank you, God, for allowing me to have the toothbrush, the toothpaste, deodorant. Like, thank you for that. But honestly, I'm thankful that I am getting to explore more and just getting to connect with people, because I do like that. I'm thankful that that Colleen got good food, and I'm thankful that my family is well. I'm thankful that, like, no matter whatever hard times we have, that we gonna thug out and be in the moment, but also get through it. I'm really thankful for that, because I know a lot of people don't have that, and I'm thankful that, and I'm also thankful. Jasmine's definitely tired of me talking about this, but I'm just so immensely thankful that the Oklahoma City Thunder are 2025 NBA Finals champions, and the reason why is I don't think people know. We used to be just OSU, you know, orange, OU red, and just be a state divided, and just to have something just to bring us together, to have the New Orleans Hornets come over for just a period of time, and for me to experience this in my lifetime of not having any professional team to now having a team that I could grow up watching and go to a game, and just having that there, and now seeing what the city's become, how it's revitalized downtown, just seeing the city come together. Thankfully, one person did get shot, but thankfully, like, the city be shooting up, and thankfully there was nothing like that there. It's just amazing, something that I just cannot just describe to people. It's just, one, just my team won, and then two, just seeing my city just thriving, being national outlets just everywhere. And who would have thought, just like, oh, Oklahoma, like people ask us if we still ride horses every day. And the fact that now it's getting this national attention is just something I'm just so thankful for. It's like, wow, this is where I came from. This is the city that made me. Those are my people. So that I'm truly amazed and grateful for that
Are
still.
you thankful for the red dirt too?
Because you ain't got it, you jealous.
I'm just saying.
Not many
The
people
red dirt
have-
state. That's what I think of when I think of.
People are often jealous of things they don't have. Green with envy, should I say.
That was Michael. That was like a 6-minute answer.
Yeah, it was.
I had to get my truth that I'm grateful.
That was your testimony. Okay, so I think for me, if we're gonna go down the line, I think for me, I will have to say I'm thankful for community. And the reason why I say this is because, and I was talking to one of my girlfriends about this. I live in Texas. I don't live close to home, right? I'm from Nebraska, born and raised. So my family isn't here. But I've been in this area so long that I now have friends turned family, right? So I have a community around me. I have, sorority sisters that are more than just sorority sisters. Like I have people to call, when one time I think my car wouldn't start, 3 a.m, Michael was on vacation. And I was like, I live in Killeen, the news station is in Temple. How am I gonna get there? I'm making phone calls, got a ride to work, I'm on my way. You know what I'm saying? I have people who are like family, and that just means so much to me, that they can fill in that gap, because my family isn't here. Every holiday I have somewhere to go, a place to eat, whatever, fun to have, but so definitely thankful for a community and being able to have that around me. Faith?
I guess I'll go now. I would say I'm most thankful for endurance, and having patience. I would say, obviously, this being a new chapter of my life, even before I got here, like it hasn't been easy, of course, adjusting a new place, trying to figure out where the grocery store at and where the gas station is. So I would just say endurance to, getting unfamiliar. I'm getting uncomfortable with what I'm used to and relearning new things. And obviously, like I mentioned, it's not easy doing that. Like going from 9:30 to 6:30 shift to a 2 a.m. in the morning every day. So thanking God for, like you said, letting me hear that alarm, letting me make it to work on time and get strength and, get set up and just have patience through the process. Because, once again, it's a transition, it's a new job, you got to learn new things, get to feel and get adjusted. So I'm just thankful that I'm still persevering through all the hard times and everything else, I have going on behind the scenes.
Right. Wow. And you, the viewers, we also want to know what you guys are thankful for. Do we have any questions online before we close out? Any questions? Okay. Anybody we should give a shout out for, or any businesses that we can give a shout out to? We would definitely want to give you a shout out. You heard already the food. They love the food. So if you're a business owner that has some food, just go ahead and
Bring it to the station.
We don't want them to have none.
Well, on behalf of New Day Fellowship Church, I can tell you that we want to do a donation to your charity. Okay, so collaboratively, you let us know what your charity is. We definitely want to do a donation because you do so much in the community and you have nothing but love. And we just love you guys coming here today and just giving us a piece of you again, being in the homes, and just let us know this is the real you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll plug this station. I know we have our Taking Care of Teachers Drive coming up soon, and that's where we collect just school supply items for teachers rather than them having to take it out of their pocket. And what we do is we partner up with Temple ISD, Waco ISD, and Killeen ISD, and we distribute those out to the community gives it to their specific community. So if you live in Temple, you'll obviously go to Temple ISD, and so that would be a great thing to help out because teachers do so much. My siblings are teachers, and it's rough out there.
It's rough, yeah.
All right. Well, Faith, I love the name Faith, and I noticed when you started speaking earlier, you just giving us some prophetic things. So we definitely appreciate that. Would you mind closing us out in prayer?
Absolutely.
All right.
Let's bow our head. Dear Jesus, I thank you for bringing us together for fellowship. Thank you for bringing us together for community.
Yes.
I thank you for allowing us to be at the right place at the right time and to be obedient to your word. We don't know who we could have impacted on this podcast, or who may be watching and need faith to keep going and needs encouragement to keep going.
Yes.
So I thank you for bringing us together for this opportunity. I pray that we all continue to do well in our careers, and even the people that are watching this, whether they are going to a new job or starting a new business, or regardless of what they're doing, God, help to give them endurance and perseverance, and know that they can make it through the hard times, even when people don't understand what's going on, that you know, and that you're going to help guide them through that process. So we thank you for bringing us together. I pray that we enjoy the rest of our days and stay safe. Of course, we know that people are going to be popping those fireworks, and some of them not even going to be fireworks. Some of them going to be gunshots, but I just pray that you keep us safe.
Yes.
And allow us to continue to have this bond, and allow us to continue to glorify your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Thank y'all for watching New Day Fellowship Church podcast.
Great day, and thank you for tuning in to a New Day Fellowship Church. We are so grateful that you joined us, and we pray that you were blessed by hearing God's living word. May his message inspire you to continue walking in faith, trusting that he is working all things together for your good. As we close out this service, feel free to leave a word of encouragement in the comments and share your testimony with others. Together, we can inspire and uplift those around us to live for God. Remember, this is your season. Hold on to his promises, stand firm in your faith, and watch as God does great things in your life. Continue to be blessed, and we